Wrestling fans all across the world are still reeling from the announcement Roman Reigns made on this week's edition of Monday Night Raw. Reigns would enter with a hurl of boos, only to leave with cheers and sadness from the crowd as he announced that he's been diagnosed with leukemia 11 years ago and that the cancer has returned after going into remission. This has forced Roman Reigns to leave the WWE for an undetermined amount of time and consequently drop the Universal Championship as he battles the cancer. The news of his cancer coming back has caused massive ripples across the WWE universe. Since Reigns is one of the WWE's top superstars, his leave has caused a number of changes to WWE's plans. Number 1. The Shield's breakup wasn't supposed to happen yet. Just after his announcement was made, all 3 members of the Shield embraced each other with a hug, clearly sad at the news they just heard. Many thought that after this shock announcement, Ambrose and Rollins would do everything to try and stick together through learning this distressing news. However, even though they would wrestle as a cohesive tag team and win the WWE Raw Tag Team Championships, Ambrose quickly turned on his former friend and teammate, launching a vicious and brutal attack on the Architect. Many fans were furious and confused why WWE went ahead and broke up the Shield the same night of Reigns' announcement. Well, it was confirmed by Bryan Alvarez of the Wrestling Observer that Ambrose wasn't meant to turn heel on that night and WWE was instead saving his turn around the Survivor Series had Reigns not taken leave from the WWE. He mentioned, "He wasn't even supposed to turn heel last night. The actual plan was that he was going to turn around the Survivor Series, and they moved it up and they specifically did it to capitalize on the emotions of a guy who's home to fight for his life." Alvarez believes the turn was done in poor taste, but we disagreed. It was the best way to capitalize on the fans' emotions after they were left heartbroken by the news. It was the best way to book the heel turn. If they had done this later on, there would have been a good chance that Ambrose would have been cheered or wouldn't have gotten a strong enough reaction from the crowd, as the news of Reigns' battle with cancer wouldn't be in the minds of fans, leading to a less impactful heel turn. Number 2. WrestleMania 35 plans have changed. Roman Reigns' battle with leukemia has dramatically affected the plans for WrestleMania 35. As it's been reported in the last few months, the initial plans saw all 3 members of the Shield battling each other in the main event for the Universal Championship. However, those plans have now changed, as WWE seems to be returning to the storyline they planned for last year, before Dean Ambrose was out with an injury. Ambrose was supposed to turn heel in 2017, before his injury occurred, and this would have led to a match between him and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 34, but this had to be cancelled. With Roman Reigns regrettably out of the picture for Mania, WWE has now decided to run with the plans they wanted to last year, and have a heated rivalry between Rollins and Ambrose, leading to a main event match. Number 3. Rollins or Ambrose will become Universal Champion before WrestleMania 35. Bryan Alvarez interestingly stated that the plans not only involve the 2 facing off against each other at WrestleMania 35, but the title will be on the line. He mentioned, "I believe 100% that WrestleMania main event is Seth Rollins challenging Dean Ambrose for the WWE title. Now, how do you get there? I have no idea. It's therefore possible that rather than the original plan of Roman Reigns heading into WrestleMania 35 as Universal Champion, either Dean Ambrose or Seth Rollins could headline WrestleMania 35 as champion." Number 4. WWE are forced to crown a new Universal Champion. The big dog Roman Reigns was scheduled to compete at WWE's Crown Jewel event in November, as one of the first matches announced was a triple threat between Reigns, Strowman and Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. With this being what some people call a glorified house show, it was speculated there would be no title changes had Reigns been able to compete. However, with Reigns being taken out of the match, WWE has to crown a new Universal Champion, and all signs point to Braun Strowman winning. Wrestling source Barnburner recently tweeted on who will come out of Crown Jewel as the new champion. Nothing new to report about Crown Jewel. The decision will be announced tomorrow, being told Hulk Hogan will be on the show, Braun Strowman will win, feud with Drew McIntyre. While Strowman's reign could be short as his championship wasn't planned, this will be his first title reign, which has been much deserved. Number 5. WWE was forced to balance out the Raw roster. It's been reported that Vince McMahon learned of Roman Reigns' leukemia coming out of remission on October 18th. He would tell essential personnel only the next morning, which gave them time to discuss any future plans and changes to the upcoming Monday Night Raw. Since Reigns is WWE's top babyface and his absence would affect the Raw roster, Vince needed to make a number of changes, one involving turning Ambrose heel and making 2 WWE superstars babyface in order to balance things out. Apart from Ambrose's heel turn, Elias would turn face, as after he defeated Apollo Crews, he wanted to perform in front of the live crowd. However, he was rudely interrupted by Raw's acting general manager Constable Baron Corbin, who told him there was no time for his performance and he had to leave the stage immediately. Elias left, only to come back and whack Corbin right in the back with his trusty guitar, cementing his babyface turn. The second face turn saw the monster among men Braun Strowman turn babyface again. Again, if Reigns was able to wrestle at the Crown Jewel, these turns probably wouldn't have happened. Number 6. Seth Rollins as the new face of WWE. WWE has invested a huge amount of time and money into making Reigns a popular superstar and has ultimately become the successor to John Cena as being the face of the WWE. However, Reigns' treatment plan could possibly leave him out of the WWE for 2 to 3 years, depending on how he reacts to the treatment. Reigns will of course keep the WWE notified on how well he is receiving the treatment, but they will need a backup plan if Reigns is going to be out for a considerable amount of time. Since Cena is concentrating all his efforts on his film career, WWE will look to one of the most over superstars, Seth Rollins, taking over his place. Whilst they could go with AJ Styles, Rollins is considerably younger and is a massive babyface with a number of years left in WWE. So guys, there you have it. 6 huge changes that happened due to Roman Reigns' departure from WWE. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.